Slow down, you little monster! Lady Caroline Rutherford tugged at the leading string, beginning to slip through her grip. If you pull me into the water, this will be the last time I bring you to the park. Do you understand? But she didn't really mean it, because Pip, her brother's border collie, was a country dog, used to running untethered through the fields at home, much like Caroline herself. It wasn't his fault they'd had to temporarily move to the city. She ignored a cold shiver as she recalled the reason for the move. Even a full year following the events that brought them to Mayfair, the recollection haunted her, as it likely would forever. "Shall I take the dog for you?" Eloisa, Caroline's lady's maid, watched her with an expression that fell somewhere between concern and embarrassment. "I can handle him, thank you, Eloisa." Caroline dipped her chin to her lady's maid. An irritant, a luxury she'd never asked for nor wanted. But then she forced a weak smile. Being foisted on Caroline as chaperone was hardly Eloisa's doing. Ever since her brother had unexpectedly become the Earl of Standish, Caroline, her mother, and her two younger sisters' lives had changed dramatically. And with that full year since her father's death behind her, Caroline was expected to mingle with the ladies and gentlemen of the ton. Melanie, the eldest of her two sisters, would come out after Caroline secured a match, and although Josephine was still too young, her time would come soon enough. So even though she found the constant round of festivities tedious, for the sake of her mother and sisters, Caroline would make the best of it. If she could recover, that was. Because 2 weeks ago, at the very ripe age of 24, Caroline had debuted in a manner that surely would go down as one of the worst in history, embarrassing her family in the process. And yet the world hadn't ended. Caroline fanned her face as the memory roused a flush of embarrassment. She'd never claimed to be swan-like, but under normal circumstances, she wasn't the awkward person that Ton believed her to be. Based on one night, 1 minute, less than that, really. Because, apparently the act of dressing up in pastels and lace, standing around a ballroom with her mother watching, and waiting for an eligible bachelor to seek her out, all in front of a room full of total strangers, stole any trace of grace Caroline thought she'd possessed. Pip jacked on the string again, and before Caroline could tighten her hold, the unruly collie broke free. Not toward the lake, but toward one of the ornate benches, where a gentleman sat reading a newspaper. But it was not the man who had caught Pip's attention. Rather, it was his well-mannered black and tan Yorkshire Terrier, about 1/10 Pip's size, who sat looking dignified beside him, a pretty little ribbon tied in a neat bow around her neck. This could mean trouble. Pip was capable of impressive speeds and would only be caught when he was ready. Glancing around the vast swath of grass, Caroline winced.